Welcome back to Canada Voyage. In the process of applying for a Canada PR visa without a consultant, the final step is to create an account and fill the application form. So in this video, I am going to take you through step-by-step process of creating an account and filling the application form. Before we proceed, you need to keep two things ready. First is the IELTS scorecard and the second is the WES assessment report. Once you have these two things handy, then we are good to proceed. So you need to Google CIC login and click on sign in to your IRCC secure account canada.ca. This should take you to the Government of Canada site, and you will have to choose do not have an account register option. So here you can register for a secure account. So you will register with GC key. This will take you to a sign in and a sign up page. So since we do not have it ready, we are going to use a sign up. So click on sign up, read through the terms and conditions and click I accept. So here you create your username. So the username checklist is on the right corner of the page. So as you update the username, all the bullet points turns to green tick marks. So ensure all of the criteria are met and click continue. So now you need to create your password. Again, like similar to the username checklist, you have a password checklist. So as you update your password, each of these will turn into green tick marks. So next is to confirm the password so that the last checklist is also turned green. So let me just confirm the password. Yeah, so everything is turned green, so I'm good to go. So next is to click continue. So you have a set of recovery questions and hints, so I've updated them. Save a copy of these for your future records, because this is what you would require to relog in case you've forgotten your username or password. So click continue. So your GC key sign up is complete. Next is to create an account. So let's click continue again. Again, I have a set of terms and conditions. So I say click I accept once you read through each of these. So to create an account, I have 4 fields to start with. So you can use the help button in case you do not know what exactly is required under each name. That's the question mark icon. So you have the given name, last name, email address, and the preferred language for notification. So here in the help icon, it gives you all the details, what you need to fill in. So let me update the given name. This is your first name. So I will say Canada Voyage. These are the mandatory fields, so you have to fill in. Ensure that you do not have any spelling errors or any clerical errors on this. So preferred language of notification would be English for me. So I'm saying English and say click continue. So there is another set of security questions. So I've updated them. Save a copy again for your records. Do not forget that. Click continue. So in your account, you can start your application next. So apply to Canada. And since I do not have a personal reference code, first you need to determine your eligibility. And so I click express entry. This will take you to a questionnaire to see if you're eligible to apply. So the province which I plan to live in is Ontario. So I update that and click next. Next is the language test that I've taken, that's IELTS. Click next. Where did I take this? Sorry, what date did I take this test? Would be 2020 April 1st. So I click next, and I need to update the scores that I have received. So that's for the speaking, it is a 7, and for the listening got an 8. For the reading it is 8 again, and for the writing it was 7. So once I update that, I go to the next. So do I have any other language results, a second language? No. If you do have, you can choose there and given the details as earlier. So click next. So in the last 3 years, how many years of skilled experience do you have in Canada? So this is a Canadian experience. So I do not have a Canadian experience. So if you do not have a Canadian experience during this period, choose none of the above. If you do have, you need to give in which skill type you have the experience in. So click next. So this is your total work experience in the last 10 years. So in the last 5 years, if you have any of the at least 2 years experience in any of these, you need to update that. So if you do not know your NOC, you can search for it. So there are a set of skilled trades. So I do not have any. So next is how much money you're getting into Canada. So if you've seen my earlier video on proof of funds, I have given the link in the description box. So you need to see how much amount you're supposed to be carrying with you based on the number of immigrants. So number of people accompanying you. So if it's one person, the current is $12,960. If it's two, $16,135. So similarly, so once you know what is the amount that you are supposed to be getting in, so we are 2 people coming in, so it's like 16,135 to 19,835. So I have 2 people coming in, so I update that. Next is, do you have a valid job offer in Canada? If you have, say yes and update the details. If you do not, say no and click on next. And this is your date of birth. It should match back to your passport. Next is the highest level of education. So you have to choose a option as per the ECA report. So that's bachelor's degree. So click next. So the next is, have I studied full-time in Canada for 2 years or more? Okay, there are 4 questions which if you do have any, you need to click them. If not, you can click none of the above. So I have a relative in Canada, no, so I untick that. So it's like none of the above. Say next. Next is on your marital status. So if you're married, legally separated, divorced, etc. So I'm married. So the next is whether my spouse or partner is going to come along with me to Canada. I say yes, and no, my partner is not a citizen or a permanent resident. Click next. Has my spouse studied for 2 years or more in Canada? No. Full time. Working? No. So you updated as per your status. And yes, my spouse has also taken up the IELTS test along with me. So next I'll have to update the details of my spouse. So the date the test was taken is again 2020 April 1st. Click next. And this is for your spouse test scores. So that was an 8 in listening and a 8 in reading and a 7 in writing. Okay, so click next. So based on the answers, you appear to be eligible for the express entry. So both those steps are ticked. So next you click on continue. So you need to give more details on your profile. So the questions are on your last name, that's your family name, first name, gender and date of birth. Ensure that these match exactly back to your passport. Ensure you do not make any spelling errors. Recheck. Gender is male and then date of birth is updated. So click next. And your marital status, so again it's like married. And will this person accompany? Yes. These are all details of your spouse. So you'll have to give your spouse or your common law partner's last name, first name, gender and the date of birth, similar to how you had given your details, the applicant details. So let me just update that. And next, I've updated everything. Say click next. So your profile will be seen. You have a lot of criteria that you need to still update. So I choose the application or the profile details first. So wherever I have already keyed in the information, if you see it grays out, you don't have to do it. So click next and update only those which are open. So I need to update the country of birth. So that's India. And the city and town of birth is Delhi. So click next and you go to the marital status. It's already updated since we've already done it in the earlier section. So click next. So next you will have to update if you have a passport. So I say yes, and so I have to give the details of the passport. So what document type I have, it's a passport. Next is the document number. And the country of issue, that is India. And the issue date, and the issue date is in 2018, and so I've updated it. So save and add. So if you see, there is a one liner coming up where you can modify or delete. If you have made any errors, you can delete it and redo it. So next is your immigration history and citizenship. So have you immigrated to Canada before? And if you hold citizenship of any country or one or more countries if applicable, you can insert row and update all those countries in which you hold the citizenship. So I hold only for India. I do not have in any other country, so I update India, and the country of residence is also India. So you need to give more details of your family, so 2 people, and how much money in Canadian dollars will you bring to Canada to support themselves and the family. So the family means yourself, your spouse or partner, or any children if you have, even if your spouse or partner will not come to Canada. So that's $18,000. and click next. Next is on relatives in Canada. Do you have any relatives in Canada who's a citizen or a permanent resident and must be 18 years or older and living in Canada? So I do not have anyone. If you do have, click yes. If not, click no. So once you're done, you have to save and exit. On the top of the page, you have an option for check for completeness. So if you click on that, it tells you whether this form is complete. Just to ensure that you have not missed any of your fields. So once you update the details, the status will turn to complete, and you also have an option to update form. So next is the contact details. So the language of correspondence is the first question, and that would be English. Click next. Type in a valid email address to which all communications will be sent to. So askcanadavoyage@gmail.com. So save and exit. Next is on the study and languages. So start form. It's on the education history. So have I finished high school or higher degree education? So I say yes, and the field of study. So I do business and commerce, and the year. Since what year you have been taking this course, and the month. And if it is your current study, you need to select it as yes. If not, you will say it as a no. And then how many years of study it is. So the BCom that I did was for 3 years, so I put it as 3. It's at a full-time or part-time study. It's a full-time study. At the end of the study period, I'm going to get a certificate or diploma degree awarded, and the country would be India. City or town of study, sorry, it just moved up. The city and town of study is Delhi. Name of the school or institution is the university, so I'm giving it as the Delhi University. And the level of education is bachelor's degree. This is as per the WES report. So was I awarded a Canadian degree for this? No. So I say save and add. If you have taken a Canadian degree, you'll have to give the ECA report details. So from where have I given it? It's from the World Education Services that I have taken the ECA report, and so the date is April 1st, 2020, and the ECA certificate number. This is the reason why I asked you to keep the ECA report handy. You will have to key in all the details from that and the level of education that the EC has given you. So ECA says it as a equivalent bachelor's degree. So now I save and add that. So if you have more, you need to add more rows, repeat it. So once you're done, you need to click next. It's on the official languages, the next section. So are you comfortable in communication in English or French? So I would choose English because I communicate in English. The official language assessment. So already the IELTS details are updated here, and it's a general training test that I've taken, and the date of the test results. So the second report that I asked you to hold with you before you start the application form is your IELTS test scorecard. So this is the reason why I asked you to hold that with you, because you need to give in all the details such as your date of the test, test results, your certificate number, your scores, etc. So the scores are already in, and next is on the French skill. So I've not taken up any other test. So once I'm end of the form, it's save and exit. So that section is also complete. Next is the applicant details. So which province would you like to live in? So I choose all province and territories because I do not have a confirmation as of now as to where I need to go. So I choose all and click next. So have I received any nomination certificate from a province or territory? No, I'm not going for a nomination program, so I click no. So since I'm at the end of the form, I do not have a next option, so I click save and exit. Next is on the representative. This application was done by me, so I do not have a representative, so I click no, save and exit. And the last section on the applicant is work history. You will have to give your NOC, the NOC code. So if you do not know your NOC code, you can go to find your NOC. So you will have all type of details, the skill levels there. And if you scroll down, you will find a option to choose. So you can filter for the most probable job description. So mine is I'm into accounting, so mine is accounting technicians and bookkeepers. That suits me better than any other of the options that it has thrown up in the accounting field. So my NOC code will be 1311, accounting technicians and bookkeepers. So now I go back. So when I write 1311 there, it picks up the NOC code and updates the next field. So the primary year is 2013 when I was qualified. So click next. So Canadian Certificate of Qualification. So I say no because I have not taken up any. Next is, do I have a job offer in Canada? I do not have one. So if you do have, say yes and update the details. If not, say no. So next is to give your work history. Ensure that you do not leave any of the years blank and you maintain the continuity. So this is the period from which to which you were working. And how many hours per week have you worked? And the NOC code for the job profile in that particular job. So I was into accounting, so I again choose 1311. Let me just get to it. Okay, here I go. Accounting technicians and bookkeepers. And what was the job title as per your offer letter? So that's an accountant. And the employer or the company name. So these are all mandatory fields and you will need to update them. They're quite self-explanatory. If you're self-employed at work, you will not have to give the name. You'll have to just stick self-employed work. And then give the name. So next is the country. So this has been in India and Delhi. So save and add. So if you have more, you need to update it again and again until you have all your jobs updated into this field. So the last will be, if this is your current job, you need to click on this is my current job. your total work experience must be reflected in. So I've always been into the accounting field, so I will still say 1311 as my knock. So right now I'm the assistant manager, so I've updated everything. So click next. So this is about your education and work experience recognition in Canada. So yes, I have checked for this. So I have not found a job in Canada. If you have checked to see if your education and work experience as primary occupation would be accepted. Yes, I have checked with my friends. So do I have an option on friends, relative, host and sponsor? Yes, I have the fourth option here. And also I have work related or professional organization. So I know my job is being accepted in Canada. So some are regulated. So would you need a license? No, accounting is not a licensed job in Canada. So I click no, and then I save and exit. So with this, the applicant details are all complete. Next is the same set of details, the personal, study and language and work history of the spouse. So I'm not repeating it. I've just completed everything and I say continue. This will take you to the declaration and electronic signature page. So read through this. This is for the right of use of information. So you need to give your consent and submit transmit. So you've completed your application form, so it will show up on the applications that you have submitted on your account page. You can check your application status, withdraw your profile. So it gives you all details. This is in your account. So if you check the application status, it gives you the messages, your express entry profile status. Most importantly, you need to note that your profile expires on a particular date. So if you haven't received your invitation to apply until then, you may consider to resubmit your profile. So it gives you details about your profile, the minimum entry criteria. So it says that based on whatever I have answered in the questionnaire, it says, yes, I meet the minimum entry criteria, but I have not been invited to apply. And there's no nomination, no valid job offer, it's not applicable. And what programs am I eligible for? So it's a federal skilled worker. Next is the comprehensive ranking system. So it gives me the overall score as 434 for whatever I have updated, and it gives a score breakdown. So based on age, my score would be 100, level of education is 112, first official language proficiency is 119. So if you're lower on your score, you can choose and see if you can improve on any of these scores, like saying taking a second official language or redoing the language proficiency test. So as you go down, you also have the messages about your express entry profile. So I have 3 messages here. So it says express entry profile received. If you click on that, it will open up a PDF. You can save it for your records if you wish to. So it gives you all the details on your profile. So once that's done, you will see an invitation to apply if you qualify. You'll have to submit a lot of documents for that. First would be your marriage certificate. Next is a passport, e-medical, that is, you will have to get a test completed acknowledgement copy and upload it here. Your education certificates would be your WAS report. Then you will have to upload the reference. You'll have to get a work experience letters from your organization, which has your job title, number of hours per week, and the job description. All these details should be on the company letterhead with the company contact details. For your current job, you can ask your HR to provide the letter. Apart from that, you have to submit the proof of funds. So you will have to have a Word document which summarizes the funds that you're showing under which head. Say like the bank statement has this amount and the PF statement carries a Y amount, so the total is the Z amount as required. So taking that day's INR to Canadian dollars conversion rate, state how much CAD balance you will be carrying along with you. Also submit photographs as described, which would go on the PR card. And I think that should be all the documents that you need to submit. So as you submit each of the document, it would be updated here. So if you have any doubts, you have the instructions, the question marks, and then you can see the details about your application status. You can review your eligibility, you can see if your medical results have been approved, additional documents if they have called for anything, the interview, biometrics, etc. So once you have submitted everything and your permanent residency is approved, your application status changes from express entry to permanent residency and the current status will be approved. You can also check the full application status with the link. So once accepted by CIC, you will get you will receive your golden email, that is the visa is ready for stamping. You'll have to submit your passport through WFS to get the visa stamped. Once your passports are stamped, your application status will change to permanent residency approved, and you can finally book your tickets and arrange for accommodation. With this, we come to the end of the series on the process of applying for a Canada PR visa without a consultant. Hope these videos have been really helpful for you. If you have any queries, please feel free to write to askcanadavoyage@gmail.com. We would be happy to answer them. If you like the content of our channel and haven't subscribed it yet, please consider subscribing it now. Do like and watch all our videos. Thank you for watching and see you soon in my next video. Take care and bye.